thank everyone for joining today's Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call. Let us move on to our next part of the session, which is Srimad Bhagavatam class. May I know who will join this morning?
हरे कृष्ण विनीता गंधर्विका माताजी दंडवत प्रणाम। शिला प्रभुपाद की जय, गुरु महाराज की जय, प्रीतिदास जी प्रणाम। हरे कृष्ण।
Hare Krishna, Preeti Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining every day and introducing yourself first. Hari Bol, welcome to the call.
हरे कृष्ण।
Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances, all gracious Srila Prabhupada and Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga, and to all the assembled devotees. This is Megha from Naperville. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Megha Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining every day and giving your recitation. Wonderful chanting, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharajas, and all glories to the assembled devotees. This is Tiffany in Pennsylvania. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Tiffany Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining every day and giving your sweet association. Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji, this is Sukakar Krishnadas from Chennai. All goes to Prabhupada, all goes to Gurudev, all goes to all the devotees, wonderful devotees of Japa group. It's a fantastic group. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Sukakar Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for your enthusiastic presence every day. It is very nice, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, welcome to the call.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Shri Guru and Gauranga, and all assembled devotees. Yashamati from Chicago. Happy Rath Yatra, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Yashmati Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining every day, mid-morning, early morning, and with your beautiful chanting. Happy Rath Yatra to you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandharvi Mataji, Dandavat Pranam to you and all Vaishnava. Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev ki jai, Vrinda, Shri Chaknath Bhargam Subhadarani ki jai.
Hare Krishna, Vrinda Gopika Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hari Bol, very beautiful chanting, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai, all glories to the assembled devotees. Happy Rath Yatra Mataji. This is Aditi Devi Dasi from Canada.
Hare Krishna, Aditi Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining every day and chanting so beautifully. Happy Rath Yatra to you, Mataji. Welcome to the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji, all glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharajis. My humble obeisances to you and all the devotees. This is Krishna Kumari Devidasi from Ghana.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Kumari Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining and giving your recitation. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. This is Shamaguri Devdasi from Charlotte. Happy Rath Yatra to everyone, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Shama Gauri Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining and giving your recitation. And happy Rath Yatra to you and everyone, Mataji. Jai Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra Maiya ki jai.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj, all glories to the assembled devotees. This is Shiromani Nandarani Devdasi from Qatar. Happy Rath Yatra Mataji to you and everyone.
Hare Krishna, Shiromani Nandarani Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining every day and giving your recitation. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण विनीता गंधर्विका माताजी, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj, and all the devotees. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Gomadiki Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining and giving your recitation. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and all the assembled devotees. This is Indulekha Karuna Devi Dasi from Lincoln.
Hare Krishna, Indulekha Karuna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Welcome back, Mataji.
Welcome back, Mataji. Nice to hear your voice.
Haribol, so happy to be back.
Welcome back, Mataji. Thank you so much for your services. When person is not there, we will know how much that person is doing for all of us.
Yes,
Thank
yes,
you,
yes.
Mataji. Thank you so much for your association and all glories to your services. Hari bol.
All glories to Bhakti Sangha, Jai Srila Prabhupada, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Karunamai Gopi ki jai ho. Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. This is Padma from Virginia. Hare Krishna Mataji. Hare Bol Leka Mataji.
Hare Krishna Padma Mataji, Dhanavad Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining every day and giving a recitation. Hare Krishna. So we'll start the recording, Mataji. Hare Krishna, everyone. Welcome to Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call. Today we are very fortunate to have His Grace Sanatana Dharma Prabhu to enlighten us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam 6th canto, chapter 1, verse 10. Before I hand over the call to Prabhu, I request Raj Prabhu to give brief introduction. Hare Krishna, Raj Prabhu.
I don't know, Mataji. I think he got dropped off. Oh, he's
Hare Krishna Mataji.
okay.
I'm back.
Yeah, okay. Go ahead, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Then pranam to you and all the assembled devotees. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, Shri Guru and Gauranga. Happy Rath Yatras to all assembled devotees in different places at different times. Here's a brief introduction for Prabhuji. I'm just getting back to my screen there. His Grace Sanatana Dharma Prabhuji is a brahmachari from ISKCON, Pune. Prabhuji is a disciple of His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj and has been practicing Krishna consciousness for more than 12 years. Prabhuji is a BTech graduate from NIT Trichy and has worked as a senior manager with Tata Motors in the past. Serves as an area management and project development head for the Pune region. He's a counselor, youth and corporate preacher, congregation preacher, secretary at Prabhuji knows languages and preaches in many languages, including English, Hindi, Tamil, Malayalam, Bengali, Marathi, Telugu, and Japanese. This was a brief introduction for Prabhuji, but Prabhuji has a request to all the devotees. Usually speaker don't have a request, but Prabhuji has a request and we try to follow that request, that if time, place, and circumstances allow, dear devotees, please switch on your videos. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dhanavad Pranam to you. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, welcome to the call. Thank you so much, Prabhu, for your valuable time and association. We are very fortunate to have you. And a lot of people already have on their camera. Please, the rest of us also, it's on if we are available. Hari Bol.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Is my voice clear?
Yes,
Okay.
Prabhuji.
There's a question asked in the chat. Hare Krishna, Sanatana Dharma Prabhuji, please tell us how long you have been practicing Krishna consciousness so we can update in your intro. Please make it 0. I'm yet to practice Krishna consciousness. Very unfortunate.
Jai, so much.
Jai ho.
That's a fact.
So much humility.
No humility, honesty. So you all, with all of your blessings, one day I may start practicing Krishna consciousness. 18 years and 4 months this life.
4 months also.
Jai, Raj Prabhu, you're a good historian. And many lives. Yeah, see, I've been in this material world for many, many lives. Not gone back to God. Not serious.
No, Prabhu, you're a preacher from many lives. You come for us, Prabhu.
Yes, cheater for many lives. I've been cheating myself. Anyways, thank you. Very, very happy to be with all of you once again. Hari Hari, amidst Rath Yatra. Tomorrow we are having grand celebration of Rath Yatra at our BYC, in the sense the Karali region. And there's absolutely no nervousness, no tension. Honestly, I'm very happily there with all of you because there are sincere devotees who are working out there. They are really struggling very hard. I've been blessed with very nice congregation devotees and a team of handful of brahmacharis who are doing such service. They have left me to discuss Krishna Katha. This is real opulence. There is Rath Yatra tomorrow, and I'm getting an opportunity to discuss Srimad Bhagavatam with all of you.
You are so wonderful, devotee Prabhu. You are glorifying others and making 0 for that. We have to learn from you, Prabhu. So wonderful, Prabhu. Great.
I wanted blessings of all of you. for the Rath
உங்களை
Yatra.
பார்த்தாலே சந்தோஷமா இருக்கு. உங்களை பார்த்தாலே போறோம், பசி தீரும். அவ்வளவுதான். Finish.
Brahmanandri Prabhu. Hare Krishna. All right. So we'll start with prayers and then we'll begin discussion. Om Ajnanatimmirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschat Deshatarine Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhobhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Oh, today I'm really very fortunate because many devotees have turned on their videos. Raj Prabhu, thank you. It's your pitch that worked. Thank you so much.
I think Vinita Mataji's voice was more effective. You know, I say it every week, but nobody comes. Let's Vinita Mataji. All credit to her.
Today we're going to be discussing a very special verse. This is an often quoted verse by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada used to many times quote this, and even our Hare Krishna devotees, our preachers quote one line of this shloka. They may not know the entire line, but they definitely quote at least one line. And we are going to be discussing what is that one shloka. Yes. And this entire section which we are discussing, this is called Ajamila Upakhyanam. Akhyanam refers to a story, a direct story, a historical incident. It's called Akhyanam. Akhyanam tat aditavan. It comes in the Bhagavatam. What is Upakhyanam? So Upakhyanam refers to a very instructive story and incidents. That is Puranjana Upakhyanam. It's an indirect way of addressing a particular lesson. So Upakhyanam is called that way also. Kuchela Upakhyanam. So we find all this in Srimad Bhagavatam, the story of Kuchela or Sudama. So this particular pastime is very instructive. And this entire Ajamila Upakhyanam ultimately is meant to glorify the holy name. Nama vina kichu nahi to aro chaudha bhuvana maji. That is the whole purpose of glorifying this section, to ultimately glorify the holy name. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Because ultimately Srimad Bhagavatam, idam Bhagavatam nama Puranam Brahma Samitam Uttama Shloka Charitam Chakare Bhagavan Rishihi. So this Bhagavatam, idam Bhagavatam, what is this? Nama Puranam, a Purana which glorifies the holy name. And this is that section which truly talks about the glory of the holy name. That is the purpose. Say, I am just representing the Shastras. Just like the Vedanta Sutra, right in the beginning, Ata Ato Brahma Jignasa. They give you the conclusion right in the beginning. So that is how we also present Shastras. We give the conclusion right in the beginning. Right. So, well, let's dive into this section. This is a beautiful section. We are just going to discuss one shloka of this section. We're very fortunate to discuss this very famous shloka. Kvachin nivartate bhadrat kvachit charati tat punah prayaschittam ato apartham manye kunjara sauchavat. I would like to, before we go to the translation, personally would like to discuss one word. This is how we relish Bhagavatam. Actually, if you know a little bit of Sanskrit, if you don't know Sanskrit, no worries. Srila Prabhupada has given very wonderfully the word-to-word translation, because Bhagavatam has to be studied Shrutena, Arthena, Anjasa. There are 3 ways of studying Srimad Bhagavatam. Shrutena, Arthena, Anjasa. Yes. So what is Shrutena? Shrutena refers to, in one sense, the shloka. Shrutena, the shloka and its meaning, translation. Prabhupada's translation for all of us. That is Shrutena. Then what is Arthena? Arthena refers to the word-to-word meaning. Yes. Many times, how many of you found word-to-word meaning and translation different sometimes? You're going to find the same thing here also. The translation is much bulkier than the word-to-word meaning. You will find, because Prabhupada out of compassion gives a context, clarification, elaboration right in the translation. That's the compassion of Acharya. So that's why we have to study even the word to word. That is Arthena. What is Anjasa? Anjasa is the elaboration interpretation which is purported by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada. So I would like to just, normally we don't get time, but still we will take. Kvachit nivartate abhadrat. Okay. In Vedic times, you would call a person who is a sane person, a person who is a gentleman, he's called a Bhadra. Hey Bhadra, we'll call. Or even a gentlewoman, she's called Bhadre. That's how they would address it. And Abhadrat means something which is very sinful, a notorious activity, an activity which does not make a person a human being or a mankind. We call it mankind. No, you're not a mankind, you're man unkind when you do Abhadrat. So Kvachit nivartate abhadrat. So sometimes, Kvachit means sometimes, the person nivartate, he refrains from sinful activities. Kvachit nivartate abhadrat, and Kvachit charati. Charati means resorts to tat punah, again. Which means what? There is a context to it. There's definitely a context. Here is a person who has committed a sinful activity, and abhadrat, he's committed it, and then he's determined that I'm not going to do it. Kvachit nivartate abhadrat. I will stay away from it. And then Kvachit charati tatpuna. Then after that, again, after some time, continues this. We're going to analyze this tendency very deeply in our discussion. Then charati continues that. Tatpuna, again. That means he's done it in the past. That is why Parikshit Maharaj says, Prayaschittam atho apartham. Apartham means useless. Absolutely useless. This method of atonement, Prayaschittam atho. Atho means this is my conclusion. Parikshit Maharaj is thoroughly declaring Prayaschittam. Gurudev, Guru Maharaj, Shukudeva Goswami, you have spoken about this Prayaschit, atonement. Atho, this is my conclusion. Please hear my conclusion. I conclusively declare this to be nonsense. Apartham means technically nonsense, useless, rubbish. Yeah, these are the words which we use colloquially. So I'm just trying to bring out the same emotions. Apartham, useless. Why? Manye, I considered. This is my opinion. Manye, kunjara. Kunjara is elephant. Sauchavat, the way an elephant takes a bath. Now, bathing of an elephant is wonderfully described by Prabhupada. So this is what is that Arthena. But Shrutena, Srila Prabhupada gives the meaning very beautifully. So I would request someone to kindly read the meaning. I'll be projecting the screen. Yes, somebody can read for me. Translation by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.
Sometimes one who is very alert, so as not to commit sinful acts, is victimized by sinful life again. I therefore consider this process of repeated sinning and atoning to be useless. It is like the bathing of an elephant, for an elephant cleanses itself by taking a full bath, but then throws a dust over its head and body as soon as it returns to the land.
Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Somebody else can read the purport.
When Parikshit Maharaja inquired how a human being could free himself from sinful activities so as not to be forced to go to hellish planetary system after death, Shukudeva Goswami answered that the process of counteracting sinful life is atonement. In this way, Shukadeva Goswami tested the intelligence of Maharaja Parikshit, who passed the examination by refusing to accept this process as genuine. Now Parikshit Maharaja is expecting another answer from his spiritual master, Shukadeva Goswami. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. All right. So there's a famous story. We have been hearing this story many times. There was this person, every Sunday, very, very faithfully, he would go to church. He would go to church, he would go to the Father in the confession box, He would go there, he would confess for the sin that he has committed in the week. He would take out $10 and give it to the Father. Please take this $10 bill and please forgive me for the sins that I have committed. And he would go. Again, the very subsequent week, he would come with $10, pay the $10 bill and tell Father, please forgive me for what sin that I performed. Okay, done. And then give. So one fine day, this person came with $20. Then Father asked, normally you give me $10. Why $20? He said, I'm not coming here next week. I'm not going to come here next week. So this is advance payment, which means this person is so very confidently committing sinful acts and he's telling Abhadrat, very confidently. And he's convinced that I am going to do it. And later on, after some time, this was in the 80s and 90s. In the 2000s, he stopped coming. You know why? Because I'm extending the story, because I know this story I've told all of you again. So I'm extending it. Something has to be different, some details at least, right? Then it will be interesting. These are stories of 80s and 90s. In 2000, he stopped coming to church. You know why? Because he started telephonic confessions. He would call the Father and confess. And 2010s, SMS confessions. 2020s, WhatsApp group was there. So WhatsApp confessions. And what are the amount? GPay, Bharat Pay, Paytm, everything. All those things he started paying. Hare Krishna. Raj Prabhu said, I thought he joined ISKCON. So we'll have to find that guy and preach to him. I think it's our collective responsibility. We got to find him and preach to him. The point is, this tendency doesn't go away so fast. Yes, and some people believe Jesus will take away all our sins. But the same Jesus Christ says, beta, please don't sin no more. He says, sin no more. Put a full stop. That is something that people don't listen. They say, no, Jesus will take away all our sins. My God, Jesus said, well, I shouldn't have said that. Take away all my sins. So sin no more. Nobody pays attention to that. Anyways, I given a title to this class. The title is Parikshit passes his test. Can we also? Parikshit passes his test. Can we also? So let's start discussing this particular shloka. Let's look at Jarasandha. The moment Jarasandha understood, he learned from his daughters Asti and Prapti that his son-in-law is killed by Krishna. He's slain by Krishna. He becomes very upset and angry and goes with an army of 23 Akshavanis to attack Krishna. And what does Krishna do? Krishna prepares his entire army, but then as the army of Jarasandha is at the gates of Mathura, Krishna says, army, please, you all can take some rest. I would like to announce a leave for all of you. You all get paid leaves. Don't worry. Let me and my Dau Bhaiya, my elder brother, let's just two of us go and finish everybody and come back. So they both go, finish everybody except Jarasandha. And then what does Jarasandha do? Does anyone know? Jarasandha, he begs forgiveness. He pleads for his life. And he promises that I will not repeat this again. I'm not going to do this. Please forgive me, Krishna. And Krishna has to let him go. And again, Jarasandha would go somehow or the other. He was an amazing recruiter. Too good. We should all learn recruiting skills from Jarasandha. He would again collect 23 Akshavani Senas. Yes, that much amount of huge army he used to collect and used to come back. Really, master of recruitment. So wonderful. Wish we also could recruit that many devotees. The way he's recruiting demons to be against Krishna. We will have to recruit people to be for Krishna. Right? He would recruit and again come back. And Krishna and Balram again would kill everybody except Jarasandha. And Jarasandha would, what would he say? Krishna, I won't do this again. And then go back. This happened how many times? 17 times. And Krishna was very happy. Why? Because Krishna, the very purpose for which he has come is, one of the purposes, Vinashaya Dushkritam, to slain the miscreants. And what to speak of slaying the miscreants, he is able to work from home. Amazing, right? This is called work from home. So Krishna is right at home and he's doing work from home, and all the demons, they are all coming to Krishna and he's performed. Nowadays people are asking, what do you want? You want to work from office? You want to work from home? They're asking me also. I said, well, wherever I go, I have to keep working for Krishna. I have no choice. I don't have a home, but I have definitely a work of mission for Krishna. Krishna's mission is there. Prabhupada's mission is there. I have to keep working. So people are asking, work from home, work from office, or hybrid model? Yes. So Jarasandha was giving very good employment to Krishna. He was giving him work from home offer. Krishna had to just remain at home, and he was getting everybody wonderfully to be slain by him. So Krishna did. So there was absolutely no mentality of reformation in Jarasandha. But this sloka is not talking about people like Jarasandha. No. Jarasandha was a determined thief. You know who's a determined thief? Determined thief means, well, he's had all his ill intention to kill Krishna. He was just trying to slip away from Krishna to get some more army to kill Krishna. Determined thief. He never had any mood of surrender. Had he surrendered, he should have fallen at Krishna's lotus feet and accepted. Please accept me as one of your associates. He didn't do that. He had a mentality to slip off and again come back to avenge for the death of his son-in-law. But this sloka is talking about, what is the word mentioned by Prabhupada in the purport? Prabhupada mentions the word. What is he mentioning? He's saying that not in the purport, in the translation itself. Sometimes one who is very alert. See, right in the first line, he's talking about people who are very alert. He's not talking about people like Jarasandha. He's talking about people who are very alert. Yes, despite alertness, they are unable to stop committing sinful activities. They have a determination. No, we will not do it. Let's be alert. But they end up committing sin again. It is about such people that is being spoken about in this verse. Not determined thief. Rather, who are determined not to commit sins. They are unfortunately ending up committing the sins. Right? That's what is happening. So how many of you, I'm not talking about sins here, how many of you committed some mistakes or blunder more than once? Oh, very confidently everyone's hand is up. True, even my hand is up. Correct? Especially overeating. Yeah, we no, I'm not going to overeat. No. Yes, I will not, because I overeat in the Sunday program and then I sleep off. I'm not able to do any sadhana, no seva. My household chores are also pending. No overeating. Promise. Or at least not in the dinner time. No, because if I overeat in dinner, the next day I don't get up. So at least no overeating in dinner. We may overeat breakfast for some time. Yes, today also. We every time have the experience of indigestion. In the night time, the stomach bloats and there is indigestion. Yes, still, we made this mistake how many times? Prabhuji, we lost count. We lost complete track of count. So many times we have made this mistake. I would like to tell you, tomorrow is Rath Yatra here in Kharadi. Today is Rath Yatra event. So there was one devotee in one temple. I don't want to mention the name. So this devotee, once what happened, there was a Rath Yatra festival and this devotee ate halwa. There's nothing wrong in eating halwa. But he ate so much of halwa. He filled the entire stomach and his esophagus. This particular organ that connects the stomach to the mouth. Entire thing was filled. And he just fainted off. And he was rushed to the hospital. They had to cut his stomach. And take out the halwa from his stomach. My Lord. And then comes the next Rath Yatra. He repeats the same thing because the item was halwa again. Same thing happens to this person. He has that miserable experience of stuffing his whole system with halwa. And then later on, the next year, again he eats up all the halwa. And again they had to cut his stomach from the middle to take out the halwa. This is what happened. Halwa surgery. This is what Lord Krishna tells in the Bhagavad Gita. Yatato hi api kaunteya purushascha vipashyitah indriyani pramatini haranti prashabham manah. We need to understand that even yatatopi api kaunteya purushascha vipashyitah, an intelligent person, even such a person can be easily cheated by the senses. Indriyani pramatini, because senses are so very, very strong. The person is easily cheated even if he is enduring for perfection. An intelligent person, not a dumb person. So that is why this section also is talking about people who are very alert. Not just alert, very alert. Vipaschitaha. Haranti prashabham mana. The person is dragged. So, and this is an experience which all of you related to. I didn't have to do much. And eating is something, yeah, this is one sense gratification that's available in ISKCON, right? One sense gratification. Take prasad. And especially we should be looking at devotees, how they serve prasad. My God. They just come and put it, Prabhu, take more. They just come and distribute. And sometimes devotees need it. So what do devotees do? Devotees say, Prabhuji, can you please serve him sweet rice? And what is the actual desire? We want it. There's a Vaishnava etiquette also. We don't say, give me sweet rice. We say, please serve him. And the person goes to him, Prabhu, I don't want. Then who wants? He wants. When you need something, you tell the other person needs it. Right? So like that, we take prasadam. Yes. I've seen one thing in my entire, career of the Krishna consciousness. I'm not going to reveal how many years is that. You will note it down. No, I'm not going to do that because I've not started my Krishna consciousness. Prasadam never goes waste. In fact, we have problem of prasadam getting over every time. Yes, prasadam is over. Because devotees clean it up. See the way the devotees clean up their plates. That's very nice. But the point here is we get cheated many times. Yeah. Hari. So now going back to Parikshit Maharaj's question, what was Parikshit Maharaj's original question asked? When he heard about these hellish planets, his compassion awakened. He became quite compassionate and he was wanting to find out, is there any way to get freedom from these sinful activities? Is there any way to get free from these sinful activities? And Parikshit Maharaj is analyzing. He's thinking. And the answer of atonement, sorry, no, it doesn't work. Atonement doesn't work. But what is this atonement? Atonement means you are voluntarily accepting a punishment upon yourself proportionate to the sin that you committed. If you have committed X amount of sin, you accept X amount of atonement, a voluntary inconvenience. And Y amount of sin, then Y amount of atonement. So Parikshit Maharaj is realized because Parikshit Maharaj is a king, yes or no? And what does the king do? Majorly, the king has to deal with justice, yes or no? Yes, protection, administration, welfare. So justice is something. A king would go to his assembly and there will be cases one after the other. Oh, Maharaj, look at this person. This person has committed this criminal activity. So Parikshit Maharaj is supposed to give judgment. Yes, in consultation with the Brahmanas. So his life, he has dealt with many criminals. So what happens to a criminal? A criminal, when convicted, goes on to become a prisoner. Okay, then what happens to a prisoner? A prisoner is punished. And after being punished, the prisoner is released. After being released, he has observed they again commit crime. Then again become criminals. Hare Krishna. This is an experience that Parikshit Maharaj has. Right? So criminal becomes a prisoner. Prisoner is punished. Punished is released. Released performs crime again. And finally, he becomes a criminal once again. And this loop continues. Parikshit Maharaj knows this. Being a king. So he said that Guru Maharaj, this doesn't work. No, I cannot accept this atonement process at all. No. Now a question may arise in our minds. Okay, then why did Shukudeva Goswami give a wrong answer? Yes, Shukudeva Goswami is a very knowledgeable person. Why is he giving wrong answers to these questions? Yeah. Why did he do that? So there is a reason behind it. Yes. So just like in our schools and colleges, we used to have half-yearly assessments. So this is a half-time assessment. 12 cantos, 6th canto. So this was his assessment paper, test. To proceed ahead, you need to have a test. So this was the 6th canto test, halfway test, which Shukadeva Goswami poses to Parikshit Maharaj. So he's testing the alertness of Parikshit Maharaj. I'm going to give an answer, but basis the knowledge that you have acquired from me so far, are you able to pass the test? So this was a question which was posed to test the alertness of Parikshit Maharaj. And Parikshit Maharaj is very alert. He could immediately catch it. No, this is not the way. Atonement doesn't work. I know this. It doesn't work at all. This is not the process, Gurudev. So he was being tested. He very well understood. And he said, no. Let's look at some more times when Parikshit Maharaj was tested by Shukadeva Goswami. Parikshit Maharaj was tested by Shukadeva Goswami a couple of more times. In the 9th canto of Bhagavatam, he describes the Chandra Vamsha. And in the final chapter, the 24th chapter, in about 66 verses, he describes the entire Krishna Leela. And thank you very much. Thus ends the class. And Parikshit Maharaj was like, no, I want to hear one full canto on Krishna Leela. So Shukadeva Goswami just wanted to test the eagerness. So previous one was alertness. Now is eagerness of Parikshit Maharaj. You wanted to check how eager is Parikshit to hear about Krishna. Yat Shrinvata apaiti aratir vitrishna Sattvam cha sudhyantya chirena pumsaha. So, Parikshit Maharaj gives a lot of benefits of Krishna Katha, one after the other, his experience. And after hearing Krishna Katha, he says, my God, I don't want to hear anything else. That's why you will find, after hearing about Yena Avatarena, I've heard about so many avatars, but this Krishna is simply amazing. Now don't tell me about anyone except Krishna. I don't want to hear about anyone else. Wow. Amazing, right? That's why you'll find after Krishna Lila starts, Shukadeva Goswami doesn't describe about anyone else. It's over. Krishna is the final, the samam bonam, the ashraya tattva. The final. Because Parikshit Maharaj doesn't have, and after once you hear about Krishna, you absolutely don't want to hear about anything else now. No, not even about other avatars. Sorry, I'm not interested. Tell me more about Krishna. Yes, so this was his eagerness. And again, one more test, yet another test happened in the Aghasur Leela. Yes. So killing of Aghasur was told by the Gopa Balakas, the cowherd boys, to their parents after 1 year. Okay, proceeding ahead to the next chapter of Parikshit Maharaj. Wait. Please wait. What is this? Why this 1 year? I want to hear actually what happened in this 1 year's time. So this was yet another test of attentiveness. This was a test of attentiveness. How attentive is Parikshit Maharaj to the Srimad Bhagavatam class? So that is something that Shukadeva Goswami wanted to test. So he checked his alertness, he tested his eagerness, he tested his attentiveness in Srimad Bhagavatam. That's why you find Parikshit Maharaj is the epitome of Shravanam. Yes, he is a personality known to have perfected his life just by oral reception to Srimad Bhagavatam. So attentive, so alert, so eager. So these three are the qualities as a sadhaka we all should aspire from. Parikshit Maharaj, we should aspire like this. Right? So to speak of tests, I was just reading the 10th canto of Bhagavatam. Srila Prabhupada mentions that in a sadhaka's life, to check sincerity, Krishna will keep offering examinations. See, a karmi, he's suffering in this material world out of accord, according to his own karma, of his own accord, as per his karma. And actually for a devotee, there is no suffering. The moment a devotee is surrendering, is taking to the chanting of Hare Krishna, there is no suffering actually. But Krishna still, then why do you find devotees are still suffering? That is because these are all the tests which are offered to Krishna, and Krishna wants us to pass the test. Never ever think, if a test is coming in my life, it's offered by Krishna. It's offered by Krishna. And also, Krishna knows that my devotee can definitely pass this exam. Every teacher wants a student to pass the exam. No teacher wants the student to fail. Each time the question paper is set, the teacher wants the student to pass the exam. That's the whole intention. That you apply what you have studied so far and pass. But as we keep passing number of years, the test will become much more intense, deeper, and the difficulty will also increase. The tests will go from external to internal. So to what? The test will be about how internalized are we in our Krishna consciousness. That will be the exams that we have to pass as we proceed ahead in the number of years. That's why I said, let me be a newcomer always. I have not spent any years in Krishna consciousness. Right? Anyways, so Krishna will definitely offer. And these tests, we just don't go through the tests, we grow through the tests. The tests are meant for us all to grow through it. So we are not going to get tests like Pandavas. We're not going to get tests like Prahlad Maharaj. Right? Our tests are not going to be like Parikshit Maharaj, who was cursed to die in 7 days. Our tests will be basis on what level of bhakti we are practicing. Right? Okay. So about atonement, I just had a story that came to my mind. Once the Nawab of Bengal, Nawab Hussain Shah, he was in his inner chambers with his queen. Yeah. Okay, dear devotees, if possible, please switch on cameras. When you go to India and see Prabhu, you will get extra prasadam and lots of halwa. Surely, Good. Raj Prabhu, I can see you making progress as an anchor. I can give you, I'll give special caramel halwa. Please come. I'll add an adjective. The more adjectives you add, you get better pitch. Nice. I'll definitely give you. Coming back to the story. So he was in his inner quarters with his Malika, his queen. And that time she saw that on the back of her husband, there were a lot of marks. These marks were of scratches or some kind of wounds, some abrasions which were there. So she asked, oh, what happened here? What happened? So Hushensa said, when I was a child, that time I had a foster father. And this foster father would chastise me. These are these marks. So the queen, she took it on her ego. She said, come on, my husband being beaten by some ordinary man. Who is that person? Said his name is Subudhi Rai. He's a very respectable gentleman in our Bengal. She said, I'm nothing doing. I want you to kill that fellow. And Nawab Hussain Shah said, no, not at all. He would treat me like his own son. He was very loving and caring. I used to make mischief, and because he wanted to see me as a very gentlemanly personality, a refined personality, he would chastise. Right? That is the whole purpose. He would chastise. Please, I have no vengeance against him. The queen said, but I do have. So you are supposed to go and kill that rascal who has had the audacity to beat you up. And the king said, well, I will. He was thinking, he really didn't want to kill a person who fed him. Never bite the hand that feeds you. There's a saying, never bite the hands that feed you. So he's fed me, he's caressed me, he's taken care of me. And this is also part of making me tough in life. So what he wanted to do, he said, fine. He told his wife, I will definitely honor your words. Yes. One rule of Grahastha Ashram, never displease your wife. Never. So he said, definitely I'm going to honor you very much. So what I will do, I will give him something worse than death. What is that? Those days, the Hindu community was very, very strict and rigid. They wouldn't even tolerate the shadow of a Muslim falling on their house. They would clean up the whole house with Ganges if that were to happen. Yes. So then, Subudhi Rai, he was just walking on the road. Nawab Hussain Shah arranged for a Muslim to sprinkle some water on him. And those days, if that were to be done, you are automatically converted to be a Muslim. You're a Mohammedan. And then Subudhi Rai became a Mohammedan. And he was like, my God, mera dharm brasht ho gaya. My religion is gone. I'm no more Sanatana Dharmi. So he went to some Brahmanas. He said, how can I counteract this? They said, yes, you have committed a great sin. So you have to atone for it. Similar to this atonement. So what is this kind of process of atonement? We wanted to know. Yes, please tell me. They said, what you can do is, yes, go and get ghee. Yes, you get pure ghee of a cow. He said, yes, he was noting down the instruction. Yeah, tell me more. He said, put it on the blaze, on the stove. He said, yes, I'll do that. And make it molten. Yes, make it really, really hot. Yes, what else? Hot like anything. Yes, and then what? And then gulp it down. That means you're telling me to die. Is it precisely? Yes. So they wanted him to die by gulping down a hot molten ghee. He was somehow not convinced. And he went to some other Brahmanas. He said, higher Brahmanas. He went and told the same thing. This is what is the prescription that they gave me. These Brahmanas said, you're so sinful, you cannot even touch ghee of mother cow. You just like that simply die. He was like, my God, taken aback. Then finally, I'll go to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. You know what Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told him? Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told, go to Vrindavan and constantly chant Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Just do that. Just go to Vrindavan and keep chanting Hare Krishna constantly. That's all. And Subudhi Rai did not just do this. He just didn't do this. He did much more. Subudhi Rai kept chanting the holy name. At the same time, he served the Vaishnavas. The Bengali Vaishnavas, they would regularly make trips to Vrindavan because they have their three lives. Usually the life of a person is his money. Money is honey. Money is life. So wealth, Lakshmi is also called as Pranadhan. That's why they call it Pranadhan. Pran means life. Dhan means money. This is my money is one's external prana. Internally, we have pranavayus, prana, apana, vyana, udana, samana. These are life airs that sustain all of us. But the external pran or life of a person is his wealth, right? It's his wealth. So the real pran of Bengali Vaishnavas or Gaudiya Vaishnavas, the real pran is what? The real pran of Bengali Vaishnavas is Govinda, Gopinath, Madana Mohan. These are the real pran. And they used to every time go to have darshan of this, their life and soul, their pranadhan. They would go and render services there. That was the purpose for which they would regularly go. But Bengalis are usually accustomed to eating rice. But in Raj, you get Braj rotis. Not the chapatis that they make today. No. The Braj rotis, they are different. And many times, the Bengali Vaishnavas, they would eat Braj rotis and they would have stomach upset because they wouldn't be able to digest. Raj rotis are very difficult to digest compared to rice. The system wouldn't be, it was incompatible with their biological system. So Subudhi Rai personally would arrange yogurt. Whenever you have stomach upset, you're supposed to take yogurt. So he would arrange yogurt for everybody, curd and yogurt. That was a service that he did. Not only that, personally, he would even apply oil and massage the feet of the Vaishnavas who would do Rajmandal Parikrama. That is the service he would do. And sometimes some Bengali Vaishnavas used to be very, very poverty stricken. So he would give him his wealth. He would give his money to them to take money and you subsist on your life. And this is how he led his life as a perfect Vaishnava, chanting the holy name constantly and dedicating his entire life to service of Vaishnavas. Yes. So that is what Subudhi Rai did. And this is actually the real atonement for anything. This is the real atonement that one has to perform. Right? Okay. So again, even in Bhagavad Gita, I told you about this yatatopi api kaunteya purushasya vipaschitaha indriyani pramatini haranti prashabam mana. See, the senses are so very strong that they can be completely dragged. They can drag and they can finish you. That's something I told you. So what is the next sloka? Then how exactly do we keep senses intact? So that is why Lord Krishna tells very clearly in the Bhagavad Gita, the next sloka, if you don't want your senses to wander and perform sinful activities, what you should do? Tani sarvani samyamya yukta asita matparaha vashehi asya indriyani tasya prajna pratishtitaha. Yes. So he says, engage your senses in my service. And that devotee becomes matparaha. Become a matparaha. Who is a matparaha? Matparaha is a person who is engaging all his mind and senses only in Krishna's service. Any example? The example is given of Ambarish Maharaj. If you read the purport, you find the example of Ambarish Maharaj. Savai mana Krishna padara vindeyo. He would always engage his mind in thinking of Krishna. Machamsi vaikunta gunanu varanane. He would engage his speech in glorifying the pastimes of Krishna. Karaur harera mandira marjanadishu. He would use his hands to mop and sweep the temples of Lord. Shrutim chakarachyuta satkatodaye. He would engage his ears in hearing about the wonderful pastimes of Lord, just like all of you are engaging your ears right now. Mukunda lingalaya darshanedishu. He would engage his eyes in looking at the beautiful deities of the Lord. Having darshan. Tad britya gatra sparshenga sambhavam. He would use his sense of touch in order to touch the devotees. He would massage the devotees. He would touch their feet and get purified. Granam cha tatpada saroja sauravi. He would smell the wonderful flowers which are offered to the lotus feet of Lord. Srimad tulasya rasanam tadattite. He would accept the tulasi which is there on the lotus feet of Lord. Padau rishikesha padanu sarpane. Despite being a king, he would not use the palanquin. He would walk towards the temple of Lord. Shiro rishikesha padabi vandane. Although having a helmet, he had no head weight. His head will always bow down under the lotus feet of Lord. Kamam chadasya natu kamaya kamyaya yaduttama shloka janashraya ratihi. So this is how Parikshit Maharaj would engage his entire existence, and he controlled his senses, and he became a matpara bhakta. Matparaha. Yes. So this is the way in which one has to control senses. Now finally, there's also, because the last statement is manye kunjara sauchavat, elephant-like bath, which means going very nicely, taking a bath, coming out, and the elephant takes dust and applies all over his body once again. Do we also do that? Tell me. There are smiles on the faces. Yes, we also do that. We do that. Let's see some. I'd given a class in ISKCON Bangalore. So this class was about Pratikulasya Varjanam. So I discussed 5 points. So out of which 1 point is very relevant. And what is that? Devotees may not commit direct sinful activities. Devotees, do they break 4 regulative principles? No. They would never do that. Breaking 4 regs? No, we have taken a vow. But what do we all do? We try to find loopholes. And I'm going to list some of the loopholes by which Manye Kunjara Sauchavat. Even all of us, we do elephant bath. We chant Hare Krishna. We do Mangalarti. And we hear lectures. But then again, Manye Kunjara Sauchavat. How is that? First thing is eating outside. Oh, we are not eating in non-vegetarian joints. We eat in veg restaurants. What's wrong to have a sweet, some kind of sweetmeats from outside sweets? What's wrong with that? Or some kind of special kachoris, Raj kachoris outside. Or sometimes South Indian, idli point, dosa point, South Indian cuisine. What's wrong with that? Or sometimes lassi. How have you tasted lassi in your life? Yes, lassi. What's wrong with lassi? Or fine, what's wrong with ice creams? Butterscotch ice creams. See, butter, Vrindavan. Butter, ice cream, it's all Vrindavan products. What's wrong with that? These are all the items. My God, what is that? The problem of Agni is there. What's that, Raj Prabhu? Okay, anyways, you can give purport.
What is that, bro?
Okay. Prabhuji, what to do? Last month full, I was in Europe. So it's tough to get veg food. Yes. The Europe, we have to look for association of devotees. It's very important. Cream biscuits. I had gone to a program. Yes. And I used to go to a program regularly. And after the program, the students would get prasad. I used to carry prasad. Some gulab jamun, sometimes rasgullas, sometimes sandesh, rasmalais. Yeah. One day what happened, I couldn't go for the program, but I asked for a report. So the students came, they did chanting, they read Prabhupada book, and they wrote, Prabhuji distributed hide and seek prasad. I was like, what is this hide and seek? Hide and seek is a kind of biscuit that comes. It's a cookie containing choco chips. How many of you seen it? I'm not talking about eating it. Seen it? Hide and seek? Yeah, some of you know it. Hide and seek prasad. I was like, hide and seek prasad? Prasad means cooked by devotee, offered by devotee, served by devotee. Yes, very, very important. Ahara shuddho sattva shuddhi. Sattva shuddha dhruva smriti. Smriti labde sarva grantiran vipra mokshana. Our entire consciousness first is made by the food that we take. We take prasad, we will develop spiritual consciousness. If you're not taking prasad, we eat somewhere else. Vishaira anna khaila malina hoya man. You eat outside, you eat from atheistic people, then that kind of mentality is something that seeps in. All right. Then what else? How else do we do Manye Kunjara Sauchavat? Yes, by watching some movie trailers. We don't watch movies. We just watch trailer. Just see what is there in that. We just want to see how much illusion is there in the Karmi circle. Just to see that. We will not watch the movie. We just watch trailer. Only trailer. Just 2 minutes. 3 minutes trailer. That is a way by which people can. Well, let me tell you. The Padma Purana says very clearly that if you think about a person, any person, we are actually getting 1/100th of the karma. This I heard in the lecture of His Holiness Indridumna Maharaj. He was telling us. Yes, 1/100th karma is transferred to you just by thinking upon a person. Because you're doing dhyanam. In one sense, you're meditating on that person, right? Yeah. So imagine what comes in the movies. Movie is a wonderful place to grow your lust, to increase one's anger, to increase one's illusion, greed, envy. Yeah, all these anarthas you get as a package as you watch the movie. Yeah. So this is what happens. Then watching news. Wow, news. What's new? What's new? What is news? Prabhupada would criticize newspapers as pilgrimage of crows. Nayad vachastitra padam harer yasho jagat pravitam pragaranita karhiche yad vayasam tirtam ushanti manasa nayatra hamsa niramanti ushikshaya. Our devotees are like swans, swan class people. The karmis are crow class people. Crow class people, where do the crows make gangs and groups? In garbage dumps. So these are all refuse remnants which are there. Newspapers. So people watching news. And in India, there is another thing. In India, there's something called IPL. I hope you all wouldn't have heard of it. Yes, what happened? There are two fads in India. One is cricket, second is Bollywood. Yes, people are crazy for these two things. Movies and cricket. So what they did, they merged both. They said, these are the people, Indians are crazy about these two things. Let's increase our TRP. Let's take our business to the next level by clubbing both. Let the Bollywood stars come together and auction the cricketers, and let's make a big deal out of it. So they call it IPL, Indian Premier League. But we call it IPL, Itne Pagal Log. Yes, those who know Hindi, they would have understood. Itne Pagal Log means such mad people. Itne Pagal Log. That's what we call as IPL. These mad people. So these are all indicators. These are all indicators that we are not yet developed taste in bhakti. Yeah, if we are going for that elephant bath, coming out and again pouring, we go to ISKCON temple, we render seva, then come back and again water. This is called wetting our consciousness. Yes, we should never wet our consciousness. Yes. So this all things shows that we still haven't developed the higher taste. So we all have to develop higher taste. Yes, there's some more examples. Stock market and mutual fund investing. Yeah, that's out of my domain altogether. I never did that. I don't even know what is that. Yes, I joined much before. Yes, I entered into college. I had decided to be a brahmachari that time. So I never looked at all these things. So I don't know. So the point is, yes, we are wetting our consciousness. That's the whole thing. You take a dry wood and you put it in fire, it will very nicely catch a blaze. On the other hand, you wet the wood and then lit fire, it's going to let out smoke. Right? To quickly summarize what we discussed today, we first discussed about how this process of atonement is taken cheaply even in today's world. Yeah, people take it very cheaply. Confession, atonement. Then we analyzed how restless are the senses. Yes, we gave you the example of the halwa, the devotee whose halwa had to be, the stomach halwa surgery had to be done 2 times. We discussed that example, that how the senses are very, very tenacious. Then we discussed, then we went to the point where does this atonement answer Parikshit Maharaj's question? No, not at all, because sinful acts don't stop. In fact, they continue. They continue with greater vigor. Then why did Shukudeva Goswami give a wrong answer? No, he didn't give a wrong answer. He wanted to test Parikshit Maharaj. Yeah. Then finally, do we also imitate the behavior of this elephant? That's something we discussed in the end. So this was our class for today. We have about 9 minutes. So are there any questions that anyone wishes to ask?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, pranam to you. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. What a beautiful class, Prabhu. For 1 second, it was like you don't want to move from the screen. It's so amazing class, Prabhu. Like always, but always you're so engaged in the class, engage us, and so many pastimes. I loved the start of the class, the Shrutena, Arthena, Anjasa. So deep, but when we listen to the word-to-word translation of Srila Prabhupada, it just gives us the meaning of the purport right away. Thank you so much, Prabhu, and the pastime of Subodhi Rai, but that was so amazing, Prabhu. Prabhu, one question: where is that verse, Prabhu? Mukunda Lingalaya Darshana. You were saying to engage.
Yes, 9.4.18, 19, 20. So that verse is 9.4, 19.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. That was so beautiful. Thank you, Prabhu. Prabhu, I'll just go to the question session with your permission. Megha Mataji has a question, her hand raised up.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Shri Gauranga. Prabhu, as always, is such a beautiful lecture that you have provided. With all these different processes of atonement and how it doesn't work, and only by serving the Vaishnavas we can counteract that, truly. And then also how we are like, elephants. We take bath and we immerse ourselves in bhakti, and then go out and overeat. That's it's also part of sense gratification. Even if it's prasadam, I know it's allowed, but still, it's not the proper way to do it. So one of my question is, I don't know how to answer this for others, so that's why I'm trying to ask you. People, because I'm not interested in reading newspapers and all these, I personally get disturbed, so I don't find, after knowing in ISKCON, like this is all temporary. Today is such a big thing today, and then, after 1 year, 2 years, it's gone. So I don't find that interest. But then some people ask me, so why are you being ignorant of the world outside? Shouldn't you at least know what's going on out in the world? You don't have to necessarily, like or do anything or spend so much time contemplating on it, but you should know what's going on. So how do I answer this or take this or?
To be very frank, if something is really important, that will pop up to all of us automatically. You don't have to know. That's one thing which is very obvious. But still, even I was advised by some of my seniors also. So I look at something. I have one particular app which very short, in short, just gives the headings of something which is very essential, so that you know what's happening around. You should know that much. The point is, we should not dwell in news. We should not do PhD on news. You watching it for hours together, finding out all different details. No, we should be doing that in Srimad Bhagavatam.
Right.
So this is particularly for that. That particular dose was for that devotees, struggling devotees, we would say, who are not diving deep in Bhagavad. There's so much to read. Yes, there's so much to hear. So many wonderful lectures Vaishnavas have given. So rather than thinking, dwelling on it, making notes on that, the same propensity one is using it in news. So that was something which I was criticizing in my class, criticizing that particular tendency, which is there in some of them. They have too much, they have news juice. Yeah. We should have the juice of Bhagavad, not news rasa, Bhagavad rasa. So dovetail the propensity here also. And if one is thoroughly doing that in Bhagavatam, like half an hour to 1 hour every day, we're spending time with the Bhagavatam, and over and above that, not much time, but just to get to know what's happening around us, we can quickly, even I do that, but I don't dwell on it too much. I usually do that to quote in my lectures. Yes. Yeah, I do that to quote in my lectures, not for anything else, for preaching purpose only.
Yeah, that makes sense, Prabhuji. So I do try to say the same things. It's just still like, some people are just, I try to help someone to, I say the same thing, if you're interested in these things like movies or newspapers or anything or news, right? I feel like the development of taste is not there because, person is chanting all the rounds, but still it's not, that tendency to commit the sinful activities, it doesn't go away. So I'm wondering why that happens to someone who's chanting sincerely, and yet the tendency to sin is not going away.
Oh, yes. See, how many years are we chanting?
So many, different.
Yeah. X number of how many? Roughly. All of us. 15, 20, 30 years? Okay. And how many years, lifetimes have we been cultivating the sinful habits? How many lifetimes? We don't have any count. So what is the proportion of our chanting? What is it? What minute proportion is our chanting command compared to the heaps and heaps of sinful activities we have done in so many trillions of lifetimes in the past? So we should definitely have the patience to go on. See, it is not that we have not seen any changes. How many of us have seen some changes or some kind of transformation that has happened when we're chanting Hare Krishna? Definitely there has been some. Yes, there has been some. And it will go on. It will happen. It will further happen, but one has to go on with utsahat, nischayat, dhairyat, tat karma pravartana. With enthusiasm, with conviction, and with patience. So, the nectar of instruction, third shloka, is very instructive in this regard. We have to follow that. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Megha Mataji. Very beautiful question, and thank you for a very beautiful answer. Millions of, no, not millions, maybe more than millions, few kalpas. And then, Dhanashri Mataji, please go ahead with the question. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. I have a little doubt. You said atonement, it was told that atonement is useless, or it should not be done. As kids, you're always taught that, okay, you don't do this wrong, you do this will happen, you do this, that will happen. And over the years, now that you're learning that atonement is useless, then at the back of your mind, you know that your karma is going to catch up with you. Then doesn't fear set in? And how do you deal with that fear?
So we need to understand this I just missed the last line because I was switching over to earphones for better hearing.
No, I said that you know very well that you know that your karma is going to catch up with you with whatever sin you have committed. Okay, small, big, whatever. Then fear, and when you're not doing any kind of prayashchit for that, then there is some kind of a fear that will set in, isn't it? Then how do you deal with that fear?
Oh, you do bhakti. What is bhakti? Bhajahu re mana Shrinandanandana abhaya charanara vindare. The first thing that happens when you do bhakti, you become fearless. That's the first thing. The two lotus feet of Lord, what they give you, one gives abhaya, second gives ashoka. Ashoka
abhaya
and abhaya
means bless.
Yes, fearless. Abhaya is fearless. So a person who is performing bhakti, such a person, shoka, moha, bhaya, apaha. His bhaya is destroyed completely. What bhaya will he have? Of sins. Because swapnepi paschanti hi chirna nishkritam. It is said in the 6th canto, it's going to come ahead. Sakrin mana Krishna padara vindeo. Niveshitam type gunaragi heriha. So person who's performed Krishna bhakti doesn't have to even look at the faces of Yamdutas. So we just perform Krishna bhakti, there is absolutely no fear. That's the first result of Krishna bhakti. You will become fearless. You don't have fear of the sins or fear of such kind of evil spirits, etc. That's not that. Fear of sins, no. In fact, it becomes the other way. Yamdutas are fearful of devotees. My God, we shouldn't disturb this fellow. We disturb this fellow, that's it. Those Vishnu Dutas are going to come this time, they'll kill us. We disturb Vaja. That's the whole section. Please continue this particular section and you're going to see wonders coming up ahead. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Dhanashri Mataji, for your question. Thank you so much. Dear Prahladanand Prabhu, please go ahead with your question. Thank you.
Dandavat Pranam, Prabhuji. It's such an excellent class and very contagious bhakti you have in your heart, which touches us so far. I'm 10,000 miles away from you. All right. Now, Srila Prabhupada says that at that time, very few Ajamils were there. All right. And nowadays, there are millions of them. So I just want to confess that I'm one of them. All right. And as we have been reading Srila Prabhupada and having sadhu sang and all this all over my life. I'm 68 now. So over the years, I have seen how slowly I was able to get rid of some of the anarthas, anartha nivrutti syat stage, as I increase my ruchi like that. But at this stage, having chanted all these years and all that, I have now grasped the feet of Gokarna Maharaj. In the Srimad Bhagavatam
Mahatmya, correct.
Yeah, he tells his father, Dehesti mans rudirebi matitya jatvam, Jaya sutadisu mamta vimuncha. Pasyanisam jagadenang sangam sanabhang nistam vairagya rag bhakti nistam. Dharmam bhajas satatam tyaj lok dharma sevasva sadhu purusan jahi kam trushnam anyasya Gundos Chintan Masu Muktva Seva Katha Rasmau Nitram Pibatvam. So I'm trying to follow some of these steps, which is taking away unearths. I stopped watching news long back. Right? And in that gradation, first was I was missing in 30 minutes news on NBC. I would say 9 minutes they are putting all these commercials, so let me cut that off. So I went to YouTube now, and then 21 minutes news. Right? Then I said, okay, let me see only the headlines. Right? Then I saw all the headlines. And then I said, this is also useless. So I now stopped doing that. So this is how gradually one can, with sadhu sang and all these things, you can follow this Gokarna Maharaj advice. And I definitely feel that I'm progressing. I cannot say that I'm completely out of unearths like that. But this sadhu sang is very, very helpful, and especially exalted devotees we have in this group. I'm fascinated, like you. So please continue giving us your association and all other exalted. I'm so grateful to Raj Das Prabhu and everyone who brings so many exalted Vaishnavas to us every day morning. Wow. Thank you very much for allowing me to speak. Thank you very much. Haribol.
Raj Anand Prabhu, you said you're following in footsteps of Ajamil. Ajamil went back to Godhead. So you're on the way back to Godhead.
I'm definitely with your association with all exalted Vaishnavas we get every day. That's my hope.
Very inspiring, Prabhu.
Still Prabhupada's mercy. That's how it is. Thank you very much allowing again. And Haribol.
Thank you, Prahladanand Prabhu. You're a senior devotee and we follow you actually.
Oh,
and calling Prabhuji on the call or all the exalted speakers that we have, it's all about Shama Gauri Mataji. I don't know how she handles this. It is so difficult job to call someone on a particular date and then someone is not available. It is very difficult. So it's all glories to her service. I don't know how she does that.
Yes.
Very Sukhakara Prabhu, please go ahead. Hare Krishna.
Krishna. Pranam, Sanatana Dharma Prabhu. Our question actually, I had been to Sri Rangam and some other Divyadesham last 4 or 5 days with my family. So the problem with me is being a chartered accountant in the past experience. So eating was my weakness, always. And also as a devotee started eating more. Now I'm 63. So Divyadesham walking was so tough every day, so many miles to walk here and there. But my daughter said, if you don't walk, then I will not take you next time. So somehow I finished and came back. So my daughter says, why don't you reduce your eating? That I think I told Prabhupada just told you can eat. So and the weakness not going. I don't know how will I restrict that. Because if you eat, then the legs will get pain. And if the leg gets pain, then you'll stop walking. So you have to just give me some suggestion. that asakti to eat.
Yes, Prabhu. First of all, you're only taking Krishna Prasad.
I know.
That is one thing that you're doing already. Another thing aspect is one has to moderate one's quality, because amongst Vaishnavas, if you see the 26 qualities of Vaishnavas, one of the qualities Mitta Bhukha. Mitta Bhuk. Mitta Bhuk means one just eats to maintain one's body and soul.
Oh.
Actually, old age is such a big blessing. I'm not telling you're old. I'm just telling that old age is blessing because that is an age one can reduce one's eating and sleeping. I have, just like your age, I have many senior Vaishnavas in my ashram. Yes. Who are in the age of, in their 60s and 70s. Some are brahmacharis, some are vanaprasts. So I take a lot of their association. They say this is a very big blessing because they just need I've seen them eating once a day and just sleeping for 4 hours. And they chant, some of them chant 32 rounds. Some of them, they read for 4 hours and they do so much of service, a lot of services. So because that is a blessing in oneself, they're telling this is a kind of very good blessing that has post 60. I personally look at my father also, like he's also 60 plus, he's quite aged, but he is very, very active in services, moderate in eating and this thing. So that is a very, very good
No, I don't have blood pressure, sugar, nothing by God's grace, not there. But as a South Indian, when you eat some nice, especially in the Sri Rangam, so much nice akkar versal and everything is good.
Yes, very true.
I know. So I think some control.
Yes, bro. So that is the thing. Now, one thing is such eating is proportionate to your seva vritti. This is inversely proportionate. So the more one eats, the seva vritti will reduce. And if you are able to say that, Prabhuji, no, I do a lot of seva also. Bhima karma vrikodara. Then Prabhupada says there is no problem. Bhima karma means performers of Herculean task. Vrikodara means who eats nicely. If Bhima karma and vrikodara are proportionate, going side by side, then there is no problem. But if vrikodara is preventing us from doing Bhima karma, then we'll have to reduce our eating.
I'm sleeping only 4 hours only. And
that blessing you have.
That's that.
After the day's sleep also is not there. We know.
But I think
Then-
still I have to control eating. That's the best.
Definitely. If you do that, then my God. That's there.
Thank you very much, bro. Ungala
Definitely.
Paakarte, I feel so happy. I'm
Hare
so
Krishna.
proud of such good Vaishnavas around me.
Please bless me.
Rumba Rumba Nandri Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare
Yes.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Sukhakara Prabhu.
One practical tip I have. I just wanted to share that. That's about chewing the food. Because Chanakya Pandit says how to, not Chanakya, but Niti Shastras themselves say how to eat. Says that as a grihastha, one should eat 32 mouthfuls. Chewing.
Oh.
Chew it 32 times. By chewing also you can chant 2 Mama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare. So 2 Maha mantras you should chew. And as a Vanaprastha, now technically you're a Vanaprastha as per your age. One should eat 16 mouthfuls only.
Oh,
Sannyasi,
16
8
times.
mouthfuls. And brahmacharis can eat how much ever they want. Haribol.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's Shastra. But of course, the Shastras talk about brahmacharis means 0 to 25. I don't come in that category technically. Anyways, the point is that
So
we
16
chew our
mouthful
food.
only I should-
Yeah, 16 mouthful and chew it 32 times. The moment you chew your food and eating, many devotees have reduced their overeating by this technique.
I will keep a count on that, bro.
Definitely. Bro, you're so
Thank you very
humble.
much.
You're confessing your weakness in front of so many Vaishnavas and growing there.
You
Thank
are a God-sent devotee for me. You are God-sent.
Feeling embarrassed.
Pratinidhi of Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Sukhakara Prabhu. Your questions are
Thank
always
you,
useful. You see, right now we got a formula because of you from Prabhuji. Even when you chew food, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Ram, Ram Ram.
32 times you should chew at each step. So 2 Mahamantras you're supposed to chant.
Perfect.
Because
Perfect.
in fact, my spiritual master says every breath is a death breath. Yes, and there was one of my god brothers who got initiated. And that time, what happened? So he gave his initiation. No, I will chant till the last breath. Like that. So Maharaj told him, keep breathing. So with every breath, you keep chanting. Like that. So ideally, we are supposed to chant as we breathe. But at least as we eat, at least we can chant. And we should not open our mouth. But Varampuja Bhanu Maharaj says that if you're opening your mouth, we eating and chewing like this, he told me personally, the air goes inside, which is poison. So lips should be shut. Shut lips, no talking. Chew it completely and relish the prasad, be with the prasad. So now I have started this practice since the time Maharaj told me many years back. So I sit, chew and take prasad, no talking.
Jai Ho Prabhu.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you, Raj Prabhu. Thank you, Raj Prabhu.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for asking, Prabhu. Your association is always important to us.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you very much for a wonderful lecture.
Thank you. Thank you, Dhanashri Mataji. Shamagari Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat
Hare
Pranam. Maharaj. Very, very beautiful class, Prabhuji. You said you should not eat outside. So in America, absolutely no eating outside. But we do take some like half prepared things like tofu or something like that from outside. And in India, when we went to Yatra, like Vrindavan or Pune or somewhere, so we devotees take us to eat outside, and it's like no onion, garlic, and nice prasadam. So what?
Nice prasad. Is it prasad?
I don't know it's prasad or not.
No, that is very important, Mataji.
Because
Somehow by Prabhupada's mercy, yeah. Please go on. Please finish.
Yeah, because in Vrindavan, everywhere you eat, there is no onion garlic. So absolutely no problem. Means in America, it's a very difficult to eat outside. We don't even touch the food because
amazing.
We don't know what is there. But in we feel so happy in Vrindavan. Wow, everywhere no onion garlic. Everybody is a devotee. Everybody is talking about Krishna. So should we eat that or not? We don't know it's offered. So can we go hungry then, Prabhu, whole day?
No. You can go to Rajavasis who are there in Nandgaon, Rajvasi, proper, those who stay in hut like that, and beg from them and take. This we do. Braj roti, makhan, chas, begging. That is allowed. Hoteling, no. Provided, of course, now there are some hotels of devotees. They are proper 1600 devotees. The cooks are devotees. They ensure the offering is there, standards is there, cleanliness standard is followed. Then we can take. Otherwise, I personally, if I have to eat, I will go to Rajvasi's home, beg like a beggar, sadhu beggar, Diksha, Madhukari. That's what Goswamis used to do. I do that when I go to Vrindavan. But eating, hoteling, a person who just booked a flat or a bungalow is not a Rajvasi. Tistan Vraje Tadanuragi Jananugami. A person who is actually a follower of a resident of Vrindavan is a Rajvasi. Anuragi Bhakta.
Yeah,
The eighth sloka of Upadeshamrita explains who's a Rajvasi.
Yeah, still I will say it's very easy to say, but it's difficult to follow. When
I also go to Vrindavan, na, Mataji.
Family members and so
I also go, na?
Everybody's devotee in the family is not practically possible. Prabhu. We have to eat outside. That's and what about eating in Govindas? Is that a prasadam?
Govindas is actually for outsiders, not for devotees.
See, Prabhuji.
It's a fact.
Yeah, I know that. That's why.
This way, I can only tell you what I have learned in Guru Parampara. So what my seniors tell, I just repeat. I am a fool. I'm a fool number one. So whether it's practical or not practical, I don't know. But there are many grahasthas who eat in the homes of Vaishnavas. Yeah. And if you want context, I can give you context of Vrindavan Brajvasi devotees.
That's possible. We will not eat outside food. But when we go outside, it's not possible. You know, we don't want to get sick. You know, if
I will give you so many contacts of devotees, 16 rounder devotees who cook or initiated devotees in Vrindavan. You take from me.
It's not possible to reach up to that devotee. That's the thing I'm telling you. It's when you go from America to India, going anywhere is very difficult. When you are a lady, then it's very difficult to go somewhere in India. To reach up to you, even though you give contact, there is no way that we will go for lunch to that devotee.
Okay, at least desire.
Yeah, desire is possible.
Thank you. Desire is there, Krishna will arrange. Okay. Vrindavan is Krishna's abode. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Thank you, Shamagri Mataji. Thank you, Prabhu. You gave me another formula after the chewing. I promise, Prabhu, next time I go to Vrindavan, I'm going to go to knock some door, Mataji, roti de do. So, you know, that will be so beautiful, Prabhu. Going to
yes,
some Rajvasi, Prabhu, and begging for food, that should be so beautiful.
That's real. We are actually supposed to approach the Dham as a beggar. But at least that is the time when I feel like a beggar. Yes, the consciousness that my spiritual master tells you have to come to Vrindavan is as a beggar. But when I go and do Madhukari and beg, that is the time I feel like one. So that gives that feeling of a beggar. That means I'm fulfilling one minute instruction of my spiritual master. I feel like that.
Haribol, Haribol. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Thank you, Shamagori Mataji. That question helped me so much. I'm certainly going to go back.
I just now came from Vrindavan, so that's why I know it's like.
We have to catch hold of Vrajavasi's lotus feet, Mataji. Vrajavasis, they'll definitely, we will give prasad to you. That's our anxiety.
We ate Vrajarotis 2-3 times.
Jai, nice. That contains pure Krishna's love.
Prabhu, before going to the next question, I'm seeing Shruti Mataji has his son, you know, listening to you since class started.
I know him very well. He's Dhruv.
Oh, perfect.
He comes to BYC, stays with us. He's a
and then Dr. Vardhana Mataji from Mumbai. Yes. She put on her video too because of the prasadam. So next time she comes to see you.
Oh, Mumbai is close. Mumbai is just a desire away, thought away. Very nice. You're welcome. Most welcome. Most welcome. Most welcome to be with us. We are on the Mumbai highway. Yes.
Niru Mataji, please go ahead with your question.
Can this be the last question if possible? Because I'm getting calls.
Okay, Prabhu. Sure. Yes, as you like, Prabhu. Niru Mataji, are you there?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat.
Prabhuji, may I speak in Hindi?
Chalega. Badai. I'll translate the question for you. For us. No.
प्रभुजी, मैंने आपकी बहुत सी सीरीज हरे कृष्णा टेलीविजन पर लाइव अटेंड की हैं, सीधी बात प्रभु जी के साथ। मैं उनकी बहुत बड़ी फैन हूँ, आपकी फैन आपके लिए आप मेरे भाव को समझिए, मैं आपको
समझ गया
बहुत।
माता जी, कोई बात।
और मेरे प्रश्न ये था प्रभु जी कि मैं अभी बिगिनर हूँ, बिल्कुल भक्ति में बिल्कुल बिगिनर हूँ, बहुत ही तुच्छ हूँ, और राउंड्स भी जो मैंने अपने सोचे हैं वो भी बड़ी मुश्किल से ही कर पाती हूँ। और मेरे जो हस्बैंड हैं वो डिवोटी नहीं है बिल्कुल भी, और हमें बाहर कई बार खाना भी पड़ता है, और मैरिज पार्टीज। मैं कभी बिल्कुल दृढ़ हो जाती हूँ कि मैं ऐसा नहीं करूंगी, कभी फिर वही टेम्पटेशन, मूवी देखना, खाना खाना बाहर, आउटसाइड ईटिंग, ये मुझे घेर लेता है। तो आई फील वेरी गिल्टी, हाउ टू कम आउट ऑफ दैट।
ठीक है, द ओनली वे, जैसे हम लोग शुरुआत करें, शुड आई आंसर इन हिंदी, इंग्लिश? क्वेश्चन वाज आई से मैं अंग्रेजी में उत्तर दूं तो चलेगा आपको?
बिल्कुल।
Prabhuji, you need to translate the.
Yes, I'll give the question. The question is that Mataji says that she's a beginner in Krishna consciousness. Husband is not a devotee yet, and she does at this particular point of time, she is unable to follow all regulations, such as like she does have to eat outside sometimes, etc. So we need to understand Krishna consciousness as we begin our journey of Krishna consciousness. It is very important to have a mentor above us. A mentor above us and peers with us. Yes, satsang, sadhu sang, ऐसे satovare sadhu sanga. ये बहुत आवश्यक है. Because on the first day of Krishna consciousness, we enter, we start chanting. It's not that we can give up everything. No. What is something which is not favorable to a bhakti, which we need to give up at what point of time, that we will be told. What to accept, like Kantimala, when to accept, at what point of time, that also will be guided. So our anukulyasya sankalpa, pratikulyasya varjanam, things that we have to accept which are favorable to bhakti, and things which we have to reject which is unfavorable to bhakti. How exactly we do this, when we do this, these all are very wonderfully guided when we have a mentor above us. Yes, so it's very important. Where are you staying, Neeruji?
Haryana. I don't have any association around, and
no problem. Haryana mein aap kahan bhi hai, you can just let us know. We can connect you. Haryana, there are a lot of centers. Gurgaon is there, Faridabad is there. There's so many centers I know of.
Sirsa.
Rewadi is also there. Rewadi is there. So we have places that devotees are. It may be a little far for you, but sometimes, at least once a month in festival time, we go and get associated. We serve there. It's very important to have a sangha above us and with us. If you're not with us, at least above us is very important for us to have. Then what happens is then we are able to get a proper direction. What to do, how much sadhana to perform, what regulation to perform, what to accept, what to reject at this point of time. All these things become very clear. This is very important because the mentor can understand you in detail. Now, this being a general class, you cannot give minute details of what's going on. So this is a very general answer that I'm giving. Specific answer is given by mentors.
Prabhuji, how to have a mentor above me, and I am a working woman. I am not able to manage my job and domestic
exactly. Job. So that balancing is the first factor which is taught by mentor. So if you can just, Raj Prabhu, you can take her contact a place where she's something like that. I can connect devotees. I have a lot of contacts in NCR, Haryana, whichever place you are there. I have students in Rewadi, many places. So you can let me know. When I stayed in Haryana for 4 years.
Okay. Prabhu, could you also please put your email in the chat box, please, Prabhu? Because there is Alankar Joshi Prabhuji and then many other devotees who ask the questions, then they can
Alankar Joshi Prabhu is my regular student.
Oh, Haribol.
He can approach me anytime.
Neelu Mataji, please, humble request, please join us every day. Give your association. Your questions are so amazing that help us too on our path of bhakti. So please join us every day. There is details in the chat box, so you can click that and
you can join this group, Neelu Mataji, Bhakti Sangh Japa group. Join Kiji. This is one very good step that you have taken. Here you will get very good guidance from many devotees.
Har Madhav, Har Madhav.
Dinbandhu Prabhu, I heard you. Dinbandhu Prabhu. I heard your voice after a long time. Yeah. You're the one who introduced me the first time. I'm hearing your voice after that.
Hare Krishna.
Okay.
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Yes.
Where do Sanatana Dharma Prabhuji live?
I live in Pune, Maharashtra.
Pune.
It was
And
far
why
from Sirsa, Mataji.
Pune?
Pune near airport, Kharadi.
Okay. Thank you so much.
See, they have come to arrest me. Initially, they were calling me. Now they have come to arrest me from here, kidnap me from here. They have there the door. So the hand. They should feel you have come to take me. What should I do, Raj Prabhu? I was not answering calls, messages. They have come now to abduct me in the ashram door.
Dear devotees, so sorry. Prabhuji has to leave again. So we have so many hands raised, so many questions, but sorry, Prabhu has to leave for another service. So we'll have to end the call for today. Prabhuji's email is sanatanadharma.rns@gmail.com. So sanatanadharma.rns, like His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj, @gmail.com. So please contact Prabhuji, or please attend the next section of Prabhu. So Prabhu comes here.
Not only my session, whoever gives session, please come. It's a beautiful Sangha which has many seniors. In fact, I hear the recordings of previous Bhakti Sangha Japa lectures of His Grace Kamal Lochan and other senior Vaishnavas. That's how I developed my understanding. So all of your 10, 12 years back lectures, I hear now. That is my nourishment. So you're all very advanced Vaishnavas.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you so much, dear devotees. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for again a beautiful class today, Prabhu. Just amazing class. You know, you have so much bhakti in your heart at that age. You are so advanced, Prabhu. It's just so beautiful to listen from you, Prabhu. So please, Prabhu, give your association in the future again, Prabhu. Dear devotees, let us pay our obeisances to Prabhuji. He's getting late. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha
kripa
sindhubevacha patitanam pavanebhyo yo namo namah. Granth Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Guru Srila Prabhupada ji.
Har Mahadev. Har Mahadev.
Great Sanatana Dharma Prabhu ki jai. Thank you so much.
Har
Krishna,
Mahadev.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, koti dandavat pranam. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Krishna.
Har Mahadev.
For your beautiful service.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.